Peace and love, brothers and sisters. Peace and love. Y'all know who it be. It's always me. It's the Aquamarine Amicus Warrior. It is the Heyo Ka. And I'm here to drop my knowledge and speak my peace for all my brothers and sisters across the land and sea. My message today is good enough. I done had enough. I don't want to hear shit about criminals coming into the country. I don't want to hear shit about migrants coming into the country, making it worse. I don't want to hear shit, okay? I honestly don't. Because we just gave the keys to the kingdom to the biggest criminal ever who disrespects every race and every religion that's not his, okay? I don't want to hear shit about how we could have raised our voice and we had a choice. When we sit up here and literally gave the keys to the kingdom to a person who wants to ban abortion for your daughter, for your great granddaughter, for your wife, for your little ones growing up. Because guess what? If they get raped or defiled by any jerk or pedo bear who's out there who thinks it's okay because now they're under the Fuhrer's regime, and I say that Fuhrer correctly because let's face it, you know what kind of regime it's about to be, okay? Because he wasn't so great the first time. And now a second time it's going to be mass hysteria and panic. The first time, we had fools walking down the streets carrying tiki torches and walking around in white masses. This time, you honestly think he's going to stop that? After the January 6th incident, where they literally tried to run. Actually, they didn't try. They ran straight past and endangered officers and everything. Like, wow. And you think he gave a fuck? No. Because this is what he does. He stirs the pot of chaos and disorder. Okay? Y'all need to rise up and wise up. Okay? Y'all wanted this person because he was a man. But a person who's a woman can only be president inside of a movie like Super Intelligence or The Simpsons. So don't sit up here and tell me that, oh, we're not sexist or all this type of crap. When y'all think a country would be weak because it would have had a woman president. Y'all forget all throughout history, women have been kings, queens, dukes, and duchesses. And they have ruled with great resilience and great power and great understanding for their people. But when it came time to go into the 21st century, we're still thinking with our cocks. Really? Really? We done had the world's first black president, okay? But we haven't gave a chance to a woman, okay? We create these stupid ass Barbie dolls telling girls and telling young women that they have a choice to be anything they want in the world. But when it came time to prove that to be true, most men would rather vote for a royal douchebag than a person who's, yeah, I admit she ain't that great either. But I'm pretty sure that rising oil prices and gas guzzling cars are not the way of the future, okay? She was looking towards solar energy, solar power, renewable energy, electric driven cars, you know, something that would have made us stop stamping our carbon footprint and care more about our planet. But no, what did we vote for? We voted for the person who wants to invade another country and take their resources for ourselves, instead of a person who would have sat down with that other country or that other nation, that other state, and came to a decent agreement. Now, I don't care what color, what race, what religion, what background you are. I don't give a shit about that. If you of no religion, I don't give a shit about that, okay? But at the end of the day, during the debate, all he did was throw his hands up in the air anytime somebody made a valid point at the fact that he fucked up during his presidency. Okay? He couldn't stand that. So He didn't get nobody a chance to speak. He spoke longer than anybody. She had to shut the fuck up, okay, while he spoke. But when she was speaking, oh, he came in, cut off the two commentary persons who were asking questions, everything. But she tried to do that. She don't get to speak. Like y'all really cool with this, huh? This is right. This is okay with you. So the fact that your daughter, great granddaughter, or great grandchild, who is now a woman, if she goes out to the club with her friends or her best friends or her girlfriends after a long day at work or whatever, they just want to sit back and crack open some whiskey or a martini or a margarita, they can't do that shit anymore without walking from the club with at least 3 to 6 bodyguards. Or they have to go like in a group, like a herd of sheep now. Because guess what? He's going to make it okay for women to get raped and abducted. And if they file for the person to get put behind bars or anything, guess what? He'll make it so they're back right out on the street again. When it was time for us to raise our voice, and it's time for us, we the people, to speak our piece and drop that knowledge, and for us to look at the logic of the stupid choices we are making, we didn't do that. So I don't want to hear shit about, oh, criminals taking over the country. Oh, there's too much drugs on the street. Oh, a criminal broke into the house. A criminal shouldn't get a second chance to find a job. I don't want to hear that shit, okay? Because you just gave the keys to the kingdom again to a person who's literally about to say, I don't think women should have the right to do abortion. So a woman who got pregnant or got raped in a bar or in her car or in somebody else's car or anything will have to walk out the door from now on with a knife or a gun or a sword or a freaking machete or a freaking pepper spray or anything that will protect her purity. Whether she in college, whether she in high school, whether she in elementary school. They'll basically have to do that. Because you basically just gave the right to every pedo bear and every sycophant in 100-mile radius that it's okay to go out here and do what the fuck they want to, because they won't get punished to the fullest extent of the law, because you just gave the world's biggest criminal the keys to the kingdom again. And I'm not saying Kamala was great either, but at least she would have made sure that everybody's voice was heard. Do you honestly, with all the teachings of the Creator, do you honestly think he gives a fuck about your voice? All he cares about is the only color he cares about is green. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. The only color he cares about is green. So it don't matter if you're black, white, red, blue, Hispanic, Puerto Rican, German, Japanese, a fucking Jew, okay? Fucking German. It don't matter. The only color he sees is green. And at the end of the day, y'all dumbasses might have voted for him, but guess what? You thought tiki torches and motherfuckers in hoods was walking down the street screaming WP before? Look what the fuck they're gonna be doing now. This is the same person who said, oh, police who are like me should get an hour or a day to go out and beat the shit out of anybody with a baton stick or electric stick or a gun who they think is a criminal. This is the same person who said we should do The Purge. The fucked up movie The Purge, from the first to the third season. Like, really? This is what y'all okay with? And then, let's not forget the fact that he literally said, and I quote, I will be going back to proven police measures, stop and frisk. Who do you think the police pull over more than anybody when they stop and frisk anybody? It's the minorities, okay? The ones they consider don't have a right in this country. Anybody who's, I don't know, melanin or, should I say, Puerto Rican or Asian or, I don't know, Russian, or let's say German or Japanese or Chinese, Asian. Let's say that. So all of us who have a voice in this community now, we don't really, we still have that voice, but I don't know what to say how our voice is going to be used anymore because when it was time for us to raise our voice, speak our piece, and drop that knowledge, and for us to really look at the logic of voting for either the jackass or the dumbass, guess what? We chose the dumbass, and the jackass who was trying to make everything better, we basically disrespected her when she was giving her speech to the entire community. So I don't want to hear shit about how this is not a sexist democracy because we basically just said, oh, we'll vote for him because we don't want a woman in the White House. Really? So y'all give children Barbie dolls and tell little girls that they can be anything they want to be. But when it came time for it, the most a woman can be in this country is either a wife, a cook, or somebody who's also standing behind a man. That's basically what you're saying. Land of the free, home of the brave. Yeah, more like home of the enslaved, and well, land of the not so brave. My head is just blown wide open. I don't know what to say to make this not seem exactly what it is. We, the people, have the voice. We had a choice to speak our piece, to drop our knowledge, to look at the logic of the situation. But we chose to say no. We teach our daughters that it's okay to be who you want to be. It's okay to raise your voice because you have a choice. But now, he's going to take that choice away from your daughters, your great-granddaughters, your wives, your goddaughters. Okay? Your nieces. He's going to take that choice away from them. So the second he signs this bill into the word escapes me. The second he signs it into effect. The second he signs it into effect, women will literally have to be walking around with guns, knives, and swords on them, and pepper spray just to keep the ravenous pedal bears and dudes who won't accept no for an answer off them. They'll have to go back to playing bridge in their houses or cards because they won't be able to walk out the door without some creep who won't accept no for an answer trying to hit on them. And they'll think just because they're dressed a certain type of way or look a certain type of way that, hey, they wanted it, which will be their excuse. I mean, look at the way she was dressed, man. She wanted it. So it's a crime now for a woman to walk outside and look beautiful and go out and have fun with her friends and just want to do that. You know, I get so sick and tired of hearing that, oh, she wanted it bullshit. Sororities get away with pulling that bullshit. You know, a woman gets attacked and raped and all this kind of stuff, and that's their first conclusion. Oh, she must have wanted it because of look at the way she was dressed or the way she was acting. So a woman can't just go out and, you know, have some fun without being constantly harassed or whatever, or followed or stalked or whatever. And now they'll literally have to be considering it if they want to have children in the future, and if that child turned out to be a girl, how they're actually going to consider raising them in a world that's going to be dominated by the fact that you can now be put in prison for the fact that if you abort a child, even if you've been raped or incest raped or whatever, that you will literally have your voice taken away. And there's so many sisters, and I mean sisters, not like one race. I mean, there's so many females out here who has had that happen to them by big corporations or some corporate politician or some dude with a fat stack of cash in his pocket or in his bank accounts all throughout the world who thinks just because he can do that shit that he can silence them or whatever. And guess what? Now they're going to get to do that now more than ever. You want to know why? Because instead of raising our voice and having a choice to speak out for our daughters, our great granddaughters, our nieces, our goddaughters, our adopted children who are daughters too, we handed the keys of the kingdom back to the world's biggest criminal who doesn't give a shit about nothing. Okay, y'all think he cares about you because you're a certain color? Please, the only color that dude cares about is green. He made fun of a woman because she grew up working at a McDonald's to help her family. Okay? He does the same thing. It's not the same thing, bro. You had a silver spoon since the day you was born. But for the common working man or woman who has to get up every day and be a slave to the system and make sure they have enough to put food on the table for their family and clothes on their back for their family and shoes that they can walk around in and pay the light bill, the gas bill, the phone bill, the electric bill. I mean, excuse me, I said electricity. Sorry, excuse me. The heating bill, the water bill. They got to take care of all these bills. The car note. And now you're basically telling them that now they have no voices anymore because if they speak out, that a secret team that he'll probably hire that'll monitor your phone calls or your videos or whatever will be at your front door and arresting you for speaking out against the new Fuhrer. Let's just call it exactly what it is. Because let's face it, it's not about to be a presidency, okay? The second he's back in office, it'll be the return of the Fuhrer, okay? I'm not even joking. I'm being totally serious. And like I said, I'm a person who's of no religion. I don't judge religion. Excuse me. I don't judge a person's faith. If you have no faith, I don't give a fuck. Excuse me. But my problem right now is we the people have the most power there is. And we just basically signed that power away to a person who only sees a person as a dollar sign. Okay? And let's be completely honest. When you're put down to that level of, that level of scrutiny, that's all you'll ever be in the rich's eyes. Something they can throw away or get rid of just by throwing money at it. That's why so many rich politicians and criminals who are rich politicians and criminals are rich people, period, get away with the fuck they've been getting away with because they have some corporate jackass or senator, or state senator, or governor, or whatever backing them. Okay? But now, I don't want to hear shit about, we can't hire felons or criminals or any of that shit when we just gave the keys to the kingdom back to a dumbass. And when you had a chance to make America I won't say a much more civilized country, but at least it would have been somewhat better. I'll put it like this. You chose the dumbass over the jackass. And granted, she wasn't that great because, some of the stuff she was saying, I 100% agree with her either. But I guarantee you, it would have been a little bit better than, this guy. Because during his reign, we had Korea aiming missiles at this country. We had, people marching around in hoods with tiki torches, okay? We had discrimination up on the rise like never before. We had innocent officers being ran over and hurt because he basically spoke rhetoric and said it's okay to do this shit. And now he literally just said, our fine policemen deserve an hour or a day to beat the shit out of anybody they believe is a criminal. So you basically just indoctrinated the purge. And if y'all ever seen that movie, the mass 1% were the ones who suffered the most. And I say the mass 1%. Because you didn't see the rich suffering. They made it so they were untouchable. Anybody who was in a governmental power, they made it so they was untouchable. But the minorities and all this type of shit, they were the ones who got hurt or got killed or got offed or whatever, burnt alive, whatever, shot down, whatever. And now you basically just gave the keys of the kingdom back to a person who basically just said he wants to do exactly that. Wow. Y'all need to rise up and wise up. This country will not be good enough. It will be something else. I don't know. But it won't be as it was before. Instead of going forward into the future, we are going backwards. I weep for the human race. This is the future of it. I've spoken my peace. Peace, brothers and sisters.